Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC fans slam thirsty Alexis Bellino after empathy dig. RHOC fans are slamming a very thirsty Alexis Bellino after she made an empathy dig regarding Shannon beater. The two have not seen eye to eye all of season 19, and it has to do with a multitude of reasons. So why is Alexis catching heat once again? Keep reading for all of the details. Alexis Bellino was a questionable choice to return to RHOC this season. She had been a full-time cast member from seasons 5 through 8 and then exited. When she was away, she divorced her husband, Jim Bellino, got engaged, called that off, and then found a new love. That new love happened to be John Jansen, who dated her RHOC replacement, Shannon beater, for several years. The two had broken up right before the season 17 reunion, and then briefly reconciled. That ended after Shannon's DUI, and he moved on to Alexis. Bringing Alexis back as a friend was interesting because she had just made up with Tamra Judge, whom Shannon was no longer friends. More so, she and Heather Dubrow had formed a friendship, and then there was the John dynamic. Many fans felt Bravo was kicking Shannon when she was down. Immediately, Alexis came in hot and heavy, fiercely defending her Johnny J, and eventually saying they had damaging footage of Shannon. She was then not invited on Shannon's London trip and was very hurt. Recently, she was asked about having empathy towards Shannon. That did not go over so well as Alexis Bellino and John Jansen feel that they have gotten the short end of the stick. Fans do not like them and think they have been blackmailing and unnecessarily torturing Shannon. According to Monsters and Critics, the couple was at the Us Weekly's Reality Star of the Year awards show. Alexis was then asked this: "Do you have anything empathy for Shannon?" To that, she replied, No, hold on. Does anyone have empathy for me? What about me?" That brings up the bigger question as why should anyone have any empathy for her? She had a list. "I had to be on the show, just lost my mom, wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping, was barely getting out of bed, filmed a show, and still put on my big girl panties to go film with his ex-girlfriend." These reasons did not sit well with RHOC fans. After this came out, RHOC fans felt that Alexis Bellino had little to no leg to stand on. She chose to return to the show. No one forced her, so her playing the victim was not working. She didn't have to be on any show. She made that decision. "Girl, just quit the show. We are not forcing you to be here." The fame thirst is out of control. You didn't have to film with her, you chose to. Shannon is a regular, she had to film. I beg your finest pardon. Choices were made you get no empathy when you literally went to full attack mode. You made it personal when it had nothing to do with you. Clearly, no one is standing up for Alexis or John, and some hope she would see these comments. She did not have to like Shannon, but she also did not have to beat her down. To defend John seems to be the general consensus. In the realm of reality TV, few shows stir up as much drama and social media frenzy as The Real Housewives of Orange County, RHOC. Known for its opulent lifestyles, catty confrontations, and the constant undercurrent of competition, the show is never short of headline-making moments. Recently, former cast member Alexis Bellino found herself back in the spotlight, not for a return to the screen, but for a comment that lit up the fan base like wildfire. Alexis, who graced RHOC with her presence from season 5 to season 8, had always been somewhat of a divisive figure. Her time on the show was marked by displays of religious conviction, lavish spending, and a marriage that fans watched crumble before their eyes. Despite leaving the show over a decade ago, Alexis has kept a foot in the door of public life through social media and occasional reality TV guest spots. It's through these channels that she recently made an empathy dig that drew the ire of the fiercely vocal RHOC fanbase. It all began when Alexis posted a seemingly innocuous Instagram story where she waxed poetic about the concept of empathy, subtly hinting at a lack of it within her former circle. Empathy is one of the rarest qualities you'll ever find in people, she wrote, overlaying the message with a serene stock photo of a sunrise. Though she didn't name names, the timing of the post came suspiciously close to the aftermath of an episode where the current cast of RHOC was embroiled in one of its most explosive fights of the season. Fans instantly connected the dots, seeing her post as a thinly veiled swipe at her former co-stars. The backlash was swift. Is Alexis Bellino seriously trying to stay relevant by being shady? She's so thirsty for attention, one Twitter user wrote, their post racking up thousands of likes and retweets. Another chimed in, Alexis always had the empathy of a brick wall when she was on the show. Pot, meat kettle. The responses were relentless, filled with GIFs of eye rolls and memes featuring iconic RHOC one-liners that would make even the most battle-hardened housewife wince. While some fans simply dismissed Alexis as attention-seeking, others dug deeper, claiming that her post was hypocritical. This is the same woman who would belittle anyone who didn't share her worldview. An Instagram comment read, "It wasn't just casual viewers who felt compelled to speak up. Even some celebrity fans of the show joined the chorus." The public response suggested that empathy, in Alexis's case, was not so much a rare gem as a lost relic buried under seasons of TV history and real-life missteps. Alexis, never one to back down easily, decided to double down. A day after her post set the internet ablaze, she uploaded a video of herself speaking directly to her followers. Clad in a cream-colored blouse and seated in what looked like a tastefully decorated living room, she sighed into the camera, a practiced look of disappointment on her face. It's interesting how talking about empathy brings out the worst in people, she began, her voice laden with a touch of righteous indignation. I wasn't pointing fingers at anyone specific, but if people feel targeted, maybe they should ask themselves why. The video did little to quell the storm. If anything, it ignited further outrage. The comment section became a battleground of yas, queen, and girl vi. A few users noted that Alexis seemed to forget how public perception worked, especially in a space as scrutinized as RHOC. It's not that people don't think empathy is important, Alexis. It's that they don't buy it coming from you. A top comment read, echoing the general sentiment. Critics reminded followers of Alexis's time on the show, painting a portrait of a housewife who was more often seen engaging in petty squabbles than acts of kindness. There were clips shared of her infamous arguments, including one where she called out a co-star for lacking class, only to erupt into a shouting match moments later. Fans reposted old footage of the reunion episodes, where Alexis' attempts to defend herself often came off as more self-righteous than sincere. Despite the flurry of criticism, Alexis did have her defenders. A smaller yet vocal group praised her for promoting empathy in a landscape often devoid of it. Say what you want, but she's not wrong about empathy being rare. At least she's trying to talk about something meaningful, one comment said. However, even within this subset, support was tepid. The consensus was that while her message had merit, her delivery and timing left much to be desired. Behind the screens and hashtags, some observers speculated about Alexis's motives. Was she preparing for a potential return to the RHOC scene, hoping to stir up enough drama to re-enter as a friend or guest? The notion wasn't outlandish. Reality TV veterans are known to resurface when the iron is hot, particularly those who left the limelight without their reputations fully intact. Others thought her social media activity might be a precursor to a different venture, perhaps a podcast or a memoir, taking a page from the books of other former housewives who pivoted to post-show careers steeped in personal narratives and public reflections. In the whirlwind of reality TV, where the line between sincerity and strategy is perpetually blurred, Alexis Bellino's empathy dig served as a reminder of the complex interplay between public image and personal growth. To some, she came across as the same Alexis they knew, looking for validation and stirring the pot. To others, she was a symbol of change, attempting, however imperfectly, to speak on deeper themes. For now, the jury is out. Whether her recent commentary marks the start of a redemption arc, or just another chapter in her quest for relevance, only time, and perhaps the next season of RHOC, will tell. Until then, the chatter continues, proving once more that in the world of reality TV, old faces can still cast long shadows.